So typically with martial law, the only time martial law is going to be declared is when the local government can no longer control what's going on a criminal level, right? The looting, the rioting, the damage to the general public and public infrastructure is outside their normal control. And typically, when that happens, then the governor, or in some cases, a president or a general during wartime, can declare martial law. And all that's really saying is they're going to bring in the military to then enforce the laws that the local law enforcement cannot handle, right? And that's what martial law is in a nutshell. Now, we have seen martial law be abused throughout history, but it's very hard to do that in modern United States up until this point in history. I don't know what the future holds. It's going to be very interesting. But just in my experience in Philadelphia, when they brought in the National Guard to sit on corners, stuff like that, and I've been a part of instances like this where, we've been on standby with riot gear and stuff like that to go and help out should it happen, and got trained in that stuff. But most of those guys, if you go out there and you look at them, they don't have magazines. And if they do have magazines, and magazines, I mean ammo magazines, right? If they do have ammo magazines, they're empty because no one's trusting a 19-year-old National Guard infantry bubba who got 3 months of time in infantry school to have live ammunition unless they're actively being shot at. They're not going to escalate to that level until people are actually trying to fight the military within that area. So when you saw these guys out in the corners in Philly, like oftentimes they didn't even have bullets. They were just there in their armored vehicles pretending. The recent coup in South Korea is a great example of that. I don't know if you got to see that footage, but you had South Korean special operators out there. But if people noticed, they had blue guns, which were simunition. So you had a bunch of guys who were, the president was basically trying to prevent their Congress from voting him out of office. And so he sent in all these special operators, but they didn't even have real bullets or real guns. They were